don't have a focus problem. You have a courage problem. We need to be blunt. Procrastination is not a time management issue. It's a refusal, a fear wearing pajamas. You are choosing the easy path now, only to guarantee a harder path later. Every day you wake up and put off the important thing, you are sending your brain a clear signal. You are telling it that you are weak, that you are a man who can be controlled by a feeling. That is the death of a man's identity. It poisons your relationships. It destroys your finances. It guarantees that the man you want to become remains a ghost. The truth is this: you don't fail because you lack motivation. Motivation is a myth. You fail because you lack discipline. And discipline is not a feeling you wait for. It is a system you install. We are going to dismantle the comfort trap and build an anti-procrastination loop that works. This isn't about working harder. It's about starting correctly. It's time to close the gap between who you are and who you need to be. Let's look at what's actually happening in your head, brother. Because this isn't about deep-seated childhood issues, man. It's simpler. It's about activation energy. Think of it like a cold engine on a freezing morning. The car doesn't want to turn over. Your brain sees the big task, the workout, the studying, the hard conversation, and calculates the total energy needed. It sees a mountain. That calculation, that massive resistance you feel right before starting. That is activation energy, and your brain is smart. It chooses the path of zero friction. Scroll, click, escape. See? You're not lazy. You're just reacting to a terrible equation. You've convinced yourself that the entire mountain has to be climbed right now. It's ridiculous. We need to hack that equation. We need to trick the brain into thinking the task is tiny. We need to lower that activation energy down to zero. This is the anti-procrastination loop, and it starts with the most powerful 5 minutes of your day. Listen close. The solution is called the 5-minute rule. It's deceptively simple, man, but it works because it tricks your brain's fundamental wiring. The rule states this: when you face a high-friction task, that paper, that pitch, the gym, you only commit to working on it for 5 minutes. That's it. 5 minutes. This is the loophole. 5 minutes is a tiny energy cost. Your brain says, fine, that's not a mountain, that's a small speed bump. The activation energy drops to zero, and you start moving. And here's the science behind the win. Psychologists call it the Zeigarnik effect. Once you start a task, your brain hates to leave it incomplete. It gets stuck on the loop. So when those 5 minutes are up, you have two options. 1, you stop and you feel like a winner because you executed. Or 2, which happens 90% of the time, you find that the engine is now warm. You're already moving, and you just keep going. The work starts doing itself. Now let's apply this system. You think the gym requires 2 hours? Your brain builds a wall. Don't commit to the workout, brother. Commit to putting your shoes on. 5 minutes. That massive email you've been avoiding? Don't commit to finishing the whole thing. Commit to typing the recipient's name in the to field. 5 minutes. See how the resistance vanishes? This isn't just a productivity hack, man. It's a method for destroying weakness. Because the first time you execute against that resistance, you build a tiny piece of self-respect. And you repeat that execution every day. That's how we stack wins. That's the only way to escape the cycle of regret, laziness, and wasted potential we talked about in the trailer. Remember, every time you use the 5-minute rule, you are training yourself not to be controlled by feeling. You are establishing a new default setting. You are installing discipline, one 5-minute chunk at a time. The ultimate goal here, man, is not to finish a few tasks. The ultimate goal is to change the label you put on yourself. Stop saying, I'm the guy who can't start. You are now the guy who commits. You are the man who moves first. That shift in identity is everything. It's the difference between being controlled by your environment and owning your environment. The 5 minutes will often turn into 15. The 15 will turn into 40. The small action becomes massive progress. That is the loop. You stop waiting for motivation and you become the machine that generates its own momentum. If you're serious about closing that gap, about becoming the man you know you're supposed to be, then you need to install systems that protect your potential. Not just once, but every single day. Subscribe to this channel. This is the training ground. Now go, pick the one task you've been avoiding all week, and start your 5 minutes. I'll see you for the next lesson.